Gonna be a bit of a long video, but it'll be worth it for anyone that isn't really sure on how to set up their own force feedback. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to be checking out how we can set up our own force feedback. It may be a little bit longer of a video because we're going to have to scroll through a few screens, but if you are like I was a few years ago, I used to just copy everyone's force feedback that had the same wheel as me. I'd look for settings constantly. I never found a setup that worked for me until I figured out how to do it myself. I bit the bullet and I said, you know what, I'm going to try and set up my own force feedback, and I'll show you the simple way that I do it. Now, first and foremost, I'm using the Fanatec CSL-DD with the 8 Newton meter power pack. So I am going to go on in here to my control panel on the PC, and here we can see, let's go to the tuning menu here. Now this is just the advanced mode. I think I've got mine pretty much set up as stock here. The only difference is, instead of picking peak, I pick linear. I'm using the 8 Newton meter power pack, so my max torque is going to be 6 Newton meter, but it's a more steady curve. It doesn't peak and then suddenly roll off, get a loose feeling in it. So linear is better in my personal opinion, but you change that to suit your own needs. So I think I'm pretty much stock here. Yeah, this suits me fine. I just work off this. You can change and tweak any of these settings you want. I will say, for the sensitivity, I think that's normally set to auto, but I like 540 for rally. That's our control panel there, done on the PC. Just stock settings pretty much. So let's click on in here into the game we're going to be using is EA Sports WRC. Alright, so here we are in the main menu here. There's been an update since. I've just installed it, so I don't know what it does. Probably improves stability on the PC and stuff, not sure. Alright, so let's jump on in here and try and get this force feedback how we want it. We're going to go to time trial. Now pick your favorite surface. The force feedback is going to change with each surface, unfortunately. You can get a kind of a generic one, but I would say pick your favorite surface that you like to drive on. I like gravel. Let's go Finland. Okay, so we get a kind of I like fast, kind of flowing stages. Let's go with this baby here. Don't know what it's like. Conditions dry. Yeah, we'll go dry weather. Now, car makes a big difference for force feedback as well. So I would say pick the car you like to do most of all, because that force feedback that we're setting up now is going to work for that car. If you want to get the most out of it, you've got to do individual force feedback for each surface and an individual force feedback for each car. That can get very time consuming and you may not want to do that. I don't personally do it. I just get my favorite surface, my favorite car, and then set up the force feedback to suit that. Right, so you can pick whatever car you want. I'm gonna go with World Rally Car 2017 and 2021. What will we go with, the Fiesta or the Polo? Let's go with the Polo for this one. 6-speed sequential. Alright, so I have no volume here. I don't know what this sounds like. There we go, that's a little bit better. Right, so here we are in the setup screen. We will go down to, we're going to be pressing X or whatever the button is for you to get into options and extras. Then we're going to be going over to controls. Calibrate later, that keeps coming up. You can calibrate that if you want, but I've done it, it just keeps popping up. I don't know if it's a glitch or what it is. Let's edit that device. We're going to be going over to vibration here. Force vibration and feedback we are setting to on. These are my current settings. What I normally do, this is a great tip, just put on your camera, take a little snapshot of that. Okay, I've got a picture of that. Alright, so always make a note, write them down on a piece of paper, take a photograph like that, whatever you need to do. Just in case you make a change and you don't like what's happened with it. What is going on? This feels very heavy for some reason. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to reset all this to default, okay? We're going to be starting from as it is stock. First and foremost, we've got self-aligning torque. Then we've got wheel friction, tyre friction, suspension, tyre slip, engine and collision. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Well, some of them might be. Wheel friction, tyre friction, you might go, what's going on there? Wheel friction is to do with your steering wheel here. You can set that to 0 for real loose. Anyway, you don't need to know any of that. This could be called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 for all we care. Doesn't matter, we're going to be going off purely by feel. So what I do, this is going to take ages, so I'm going to probably cut this out. We're going to change all of these to 0. You will see the method to my madness now in a second. Right, so self-aligning torque is the only bit of force feedback we have going to the wheel right now. Alright, so now that all we have is there we go. All we have is our self-aligning torque at 100. No other forces coming through the wheel. So, what we're going to do, let me turn him down, he's quite loud. We are going to do a bit of testing here. Actually, do you know what as well? Something that they need to fix. It's just a simple thing. But I have this set to manual H pattern. In Dirt Rally 2.0, it used to be an automatic thing where it worked with whatever the car was. It was an auto. So let's say I'm driving a sequential shifter. The car will automatically be set to that, and if I have it in H pattern mode, it won't work. So I'll know, oh, this is a 6-speed sequential. I need to pop it into sequential mode. Doesn't do that. You have to do it manually in this, which I don't like. I can drive a sequential car in H pattern if I want. You could do that as well in Dirt Rally 2.0, but there's no setting for it to choose. Anyway, I'm gabbling on there. Right, so we're going to go into manual. Oh, what did I go to? Right, manual sequential. That's what we're looking for. We're going to resume this. Doesn't matter, we just want to get what feeling. Okay, I can feel that is way too heavy for me. You need to be a wrestler, professional wrestler, to be able to fight that. What we're going to do, back into options and extras, over here to control panel, edit this device, yes. I'm going to cut out all this for time. You just go into the same settings that you did before. Now on this screen, we're going to split this in half. So 100 down to 50. Because that was way too heavy for me. Now this is going to take a bit of time going through all these menus, but it'll be worth it in the end. Okay, so let's keep going here. That's much better now. Still a little bit heavy for me. Getting a bit of screen tear in there, but my PC is not great. That's still a little bit heavy for me, so I know that straight away. I am going to go back in. Right, here we are again. We're going to drop this in half again. This may be too much. Okay, so 25 is half of 50. We'll go in there, calibrate later. Back on track. Now, if you crash, just restart, because it could damage the feeling of how the car handles. Okay. This feels better for me now. I could probably put that up a little bit. I could use that quite happily there. I'm getting the feeling of the counter steer on that, and it's not overly intrusive. So I would go into, I'd just go up a smidgen with that. Right, so here we are back in here. I'm gonna go in between 25 and 50 and see what it's like. So let's go 35. No, 37. Okay. Let's try that. Alright, here we go, 37, what's that like? Oh, now I've crashed, okay? Restart. That could have damaged the car. More than likely didn't, but just in case. This lad is shouting in my ear. Alright, here we go. Let's see what it's like. For me, I could be happy with that. I'd probably tone it down a notch, but you get the idea for that. We'll leave that one there, it's not too bad. You can fine tune them afterwards again, but you're kind of getting the idea where we're going with this. Okay, so if we're happy enough with that, we will move on to wheel friction. We're going to bang this all the way up to 100 because we want to feel what this setting's doing. Okay. Okay, so back up, restart. You don't want to be crashing. We just need to see what this setting's doing. Oh, stall the car. Okay, the wheel is slow to move. I'm getting a little bit of resistance when I'm trying to move the wheel. I don't like that. It feels like you don't have power steering or something. That's what that one feels like. So I don't like that. I'm going to bring that all the way down to 50 here. If I could count. Okay, 50 on that one. Half it again. Just keep halving them. Bring them up to 100. Or if you can't feel them on 100, bring them up to 150. Whatever you want, just so you can feel what that's doing. That's not bad actually. I could go with that. I think I'm happy enough with that. Feels alright. Even if that's all the force feedback I had, I'd be able to go fast with that, I think. Right, back into our things again. Okay, so there we are at 50. I don't know why I'm happy with that. It doesn't, maybe this thing isn't working properly, but 50 is where we are at for that. Tire friction, let's go 100. Normally that wheel friction I put down to about 10. But anyway, seems to be fine there at that for some reason. Okay, that's horrible. I'm getting a lot of wobbling there and it is slow to turn. So we are going to go back in there. We're going to split that in half. 50. Okay, that is still... Actually, that tyre, or the wheel friction, I can actually feel is going slow there. I'm dropping that as well. I am actually going to drop this wheel friction as well. I know what it does, and it's coming into the wheel there. It's just too off-putting. I'm going to drop this to 25 as well. Right, I'm barely turning that and the wheel is doing its thing there. That's not bad at that. I'm gonna go with that actually. For those first few seconds. I'll probably end up fine tuning it a little bit more, but for this video, I think that's fine. Suspension. All the way up to 100. This is horrible now, this one. It's like jolty, it jolts the wheel left and right. I don't like it. Some people might like that, but I don't. That's what it's all down to your own personal preference. I could actually turn suspension off to 0, I reckon, and I'd be quite happy with it. So I'm going to have that as quite a low setting, I think. But I am going to drop it to 50 for the sake of this video. It is just a little bit severe. I'm still getting that little bumping in the wheel, which I don't like. I find it off-putting. Okay, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to split that in half again. 25. Yeah, that's grand for me now. Don't know where I'm going here. Don't know this stage, but I'm happy enough with that so far. The more you go down the list here, the more subtle these things are, I think. That's the way I view them anyway. Alright, so. Oh no, don't like that. It wobbles. You get a vibration in the wheel when you understeer. Don't like it. Turn it off. Not altogether, but turn it down. This is, you might love that. It might be the best thing you've ever seen. But for me, turn it down. This is still going to be too high, I'd say. Let's have a look. Yeah, I can already feel it vibrating. Where are we going here? No idea. Wasn't listening to your man. So this is tyre slip. We want to get a bit of... Yeah, I don't know if I'm mad on that vibration. Let's turn that down a bit more. I don't really... I wouldn't be a lover of it. I'll put that down to 25 as well. I'd say that's fine. Okay, so let's just, for argument's sake, go to engine now. This one doesn't do a whole lot either for me, I don't think. It doesn't add anything to the experience. I think when you start it up, when you're, I don't know if that's picking that up. When you go to the rev, it starts vibrating there, the rev limiter. It's nothing here. Once you hit that rev limiter, she starts vibrating. I think that's what that does. You don't notice it as much when you're driving. This is a savage little car, actually. Highly recommend it if you haven't tried this one out yet. Great handling on it. Right, that engine at 100 doesn't bother me. I could leave it at 100 quite happily, but I'm going to turn it down because it doesn't do anything. And I think if you have something up real high, it may be distracted from something else. We can probably leave that at 50. Because you only get a little vibration when you hit the rev limiter. Collision, you don't even need this on. It's if you hit a wall or something, how much does the wheel jolt? We'll leave this at like 12 or 10. Don't really need that. Soft lock, you actually want soft lock off. Pedal vibration, I don't like pedal vibration, I'm taking it off. Maybe brake vibration, 70 or something. I'm not mad on them. Steering center 4 scale. Right, we'll bring that down, don't like that either. Bring it down to 35. Soft lock. I normally turn that off. Let's turn soft lock off. I thought soft lock was to do with the the amount of rotation you have. I thought there was an auto setting. This is slightly different than Dirt Rally 2.0. I haven't looked at this, so I've obviously left this at 100 and it seems to work fine for me. Let's turn it to 0, see what it does. So this is a new one on me. So let's see if I can see what it's doing. Seems to be a delay there in my steering inputs there already. I love the way you can stall the car in the game as well. Okay, let's just restart this. I reckon if I put the steering wheel on the screen, which I would recommend you do as well actually. Cockpit and wheel on. Okay, let's have a little look at this. Is he steering? Hard to know. It just seems a little bit delayed. It looks alright in the thing. I'm gonna go with 100 on that because it just seems nicer. It's all down to the feel, whatever feels right to you. These settings might be absolutely muck for you, but they work for me, so that's all that matters. Oh yeah, that feels better already. It feels more precise. So I've got mine set to 540 degrees in the Fanatic control panel, and then 100 for the soft lock. Seems to be. Sorry, I'm just looking at the wheel, my little yellow thing on my wheel here, and what's on screen, and it seems to be fairly like for like. So I think that's what that's doing. Soft lock 100 for me works well, and 540 degrees of rotation. So I think that's everything there set up nicely. Gonna be a bit of a long video, but it'll be worth it for anyone that isn't really sure on how to set up their own force feedback. That's everything done, and they're my settings. I'll probably end up tweaking these a little bit. This was for demonstration purposes only, but I would be quite happy to use these settings for myself, and I reckon I could probably go pretty fast with the feedback that I get with these settings. CSLDD, 8 Newton meter power pack. With these settings, I would be 100% alright with. So that is going to do it for this video. If it was helpful to you, I hope it was. Don't forget to smash the like button, much appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed and you want to see more videos like that, then maybe think about subscribing and hitting the bell notification button so you don't miss another video. Have a great day, and I shall see you in the next one.